Now it's time for Movie Friends with your hosts Michelle and Seth. We're talking film without pretension. We're finding cats that are unexpected. We'll watch a movie, film, or schmovie, and we want you to join our journey. So subscribe and share this podcast, or this might just be the last of the Movie Friends. We're movie friends. We want to be your movie friends.
Hey, welcome to Movie Friends. I'm here with my friend Michelle Rubenstein, who doesn't have any salad.
And I'm here with my friend Seth Vargas, who doesn't mix business with pleasure.
Except in 3-to-1 ratio.
Right, exactly.
Yes. Wow. We're here. Wizard of Oz, we did it.
We did.
Now we're jumping ahead to 73. I thought that the Wizard of Oz was a large undertaking in terms of research. And I very foolishly thought, Coffy? Come on. This will be easy. And I have spent every waking moment learning everything that there is to know about movie history.
I believe
in order
it.
to talk about this movie.
I believe it. You always do your due diligence.
The good news is now I know everything.
The thing is, will you remember it?
I think so, because like this helped cement a few things that were like floating islands.
Oh, good.
Where now it's like there's a narrative in my mind.
That's good.
Anyway, what's going on with you?
Well, I want to wish you a very happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you very much.
I mean, for the show purposes, I did wish you a happy birthday yesterday, but Seth's birthday was yesterday. You're another year older. How's it feel? Welcome to the upper crust of the 30s.
Yep, I'm out of my mid-30s.
I guess it depends on who you ask.
I feel like it's just math. You're 30.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1, 2, and 3 is early 30s.
Okay.
4, 5, and 6 is mid.
Okay.
7, 8, and 9 is late. And then you're 40.
When I was 37, I was like, I'm still in my mid to late. And now that I'm 38, I'm like, okay, I'm in the upper crust of the 30s.
Right. I guess you could add 2 more categories in there, but I don't mind it. The way I thought of it is, should I live to a ripe old age? I think that I'm about halfway through my life now. Because 37 twice over is 74. And, you're entering the age of acceptable death at that point,
Yeah.
So I was like, I just have to do this again one more time. And thinking about it like that, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm happy with that.
Do you think you look 37?
I have no idea, because I'll tell you what, in everything I looked up in this movie, the one thing I did not look up is how old Pam Grier is. And I don't know how old people look anymore.
I know.
It's all such a weird sliding scale.
Yeah.
You've got young kids who, look older, and then you've got young kids, and I'm like, you look like you're 5. Like, what are you doing?
Yep.
And then, most people stop smoking cigarettes and drinking every day. So most people look a lot younger than they used to. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing that I asked my wife for my birthday was deviled eggs. So she made me like 100 deviled eggs.
Can you share the different types of deviled eggs that you got?
So she made deviled egg classic, just a little dusting of paprika on top.
Mm-hmm.
She made shrimp deviled eggs with Old Bay in the mix and a shrimp on top.
Is this like a deviled egg combo that people go for? Did you request this? I've never seen this before, shrimp on the deviled egg.
I gave no requests beyond deviled egg.
Okay.
I didn't demand a sea creature upon it.
Got it.
This was all her doing.
You didn't want surf and turf. Got it.
I did not ask for egg and multiple leg.
Uh-huh.
She also made a loaded baked potato one.
Ooh.
Which had she mixed sour cream and chives and bacon and potato chips.
That sounds good.
And then she made a lox with everything bagel seasoning on it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So, yeah. Anyway, I've been eating about 6 to 10 deviled eggs every day because she made so many, and I don't want them to go bad. So it's like, wake up, eat a couple deviled eggs,
You're
come
like
back from work, eat
Gaston.
a couple more.
Uh-huh.
I feel like Gaston, but
Or Rocky, either one.
yeah,
Mhm.
fat Gaston.
Right, exactly.
Oh my goodness. Hey, you know what's kind of cool?
What?
We mentioned that our merch store, our Movie Friends merch store, is open, and we got some orders, and we're starting to see pictures of people wearing our stuff.
I know, and it looks great.
It's very cool. It's weird to exist in a 3D space
Yes.
because we're just words in your ears,
Yeah. And now you're wearing our logo out and about. Like
out
it's
and
real.
about.
It's real.
Someone could have their first kiss in a Movie Friends sweatshirt.
Where did you get that thought? To me, I'm like, oh,
Someone
we're running errands. We're lounging on the couch. I never thought of a first kiss to happen in a movie friend sweatshirt.
someone could get promoted wearing a Movie Friends t-shirt.
Yeah. And then maybe it would become their lucky shirt.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow.
The power, the movie friends effect.
We go from being someone's lucky podcast to being their lucky shirt.
Wow.
All right, so before we get into our movie, we're going to guess what the other host is going to rate the film. Now, Michelle, we are tied right now, and that's
I know.
because 2 guests, 1 pickles for you.
I got to tell you, I should just leave. I should just have people represent me every week because they're doing better than myself.
What do you call that in baseball when you need to have like
Well,
someone bat for you?
I was thinking like in beer pong, they took celebrity shots for me.
Oh, you know what? I'll let you decide if you want to do this, but it would be funny if for the rest of the year you just had other people send in little voicemails guessing my rating.
Oh,
And
that
they'd
would
be
be
like,
great.
psych, Seth, I'm not guessing today. Today it's going to be this person.
I love that idea. Send us an email if you want to be a part of that journey. And then put for Michelle's ears only so Seth doesn't open it.
There you go. Now, every week we do a little song and dance about not knowing what the other person's going to rate this thing. But I got to tell you, we are delving into a new genre. And I can see this going both. I can see you being like, coffee, 5 stars. I can also see you being like, coffee, bleh. I'll take tea instead.
Right.
So I have no idea what to do.
Yeah, same, actually. Even though this is your pick. But that really means nothing for me. This is your pick for the
Yeah.
month.
I've got guesser's regret, but I'm locked in.
I'm locked in too.
So yes, this is my pick for the month. We are talking about Coffy from 1973. This is written and directed by Jack Hill, edited by Chuck McLeland, cinematography by Paul Lohman, composed by Roy Ayers, costume design by Sandra Stewart, starring Pam Grier, Booker Bradshaw, William Elliott, Robert Tukey, Sid Haig, and Alan Arbus. Michelle, you want to take the razor blades out of your hair and read our summary?
What do you do when everything you've done wasn't enough? A young nurse living in LA has to ask herself this question as her 11-year-old sister is living in a juvenile rehabilitation center, a victim of drugs that were pushed on her by a local dealer. The cops, the government, and the mob all want a piece of the pie that makes up the drug sales, and she has had enough. Armed with little other than her smarts and her will to see justice served, she decides to act. It's the color of her skin, it's the world that she's living in, it's her name, Coffy. Very nice.
I was going to put in that summary that her name is Flower Child Coffin.
Yes.
But I didn't want to confuse listeners. Right. Because at no point does anyone say, hey, Flower Child Coffin. And we barely even know that her real name is Coffin.
Right.
And it's like, I don't want to get too poetic here, but what an interesting name, like Flower Child Coffin, like the death of like the love and peace era. And we're waking up into this gritty, horrifying time that we find ourselves in 1973 LA in the setting of Coffy.
Yeah.
I wish my last name was Coffin. Can you imagine being Nurse Coffin?
I mean, I love it. Michelle Coffin, Seth Coffin. It also could be like, yo, you coffin. There's so many things you could do with it. It's so fun. And then to have the name Coffee, it's great.
You're getting a cool nickname off of a cool name.
Right.
Normally a nickname like makes it a little cooler. It's like, Michelle, but then you're Mitch.
Right. Not
Or
cooler
Mitch
though.
Ruby.
It's just.
This is like, you're already Nurse Coffin. Now you're Nurse Coffee anyway. It's like double dipping in the cool area.
Totally.
So this was my pick for this month.
Why? No. And I don't mean that as like I hate this movie, but I've been wanting to ask you this and discuss this and understand why this was your choice for this theme that we've put together for this month.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a few options,
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to do a Bergman film. My favorite actress is Liv Ullmann, and she was in a lot of Bergman films. I love her so much. I was like, oh, this is a good month to finally do that. I also really love the director Ozu, and his kind of Liv Ullmann was Setsuko Hara, and she was in a lot of his movies, and she's another one of my favorite actresses. So I was like, maybe we'll do an Ozu movie. And I kept thinking about it, and then I was like, wait a minute. What a great opportunity to do Pam Grier and this time period in this genre of Blaxploitation films. And I was like, I don't know when else we would do this, so I'm gonna jump on it.
Nice. When did you first see this?
I don't know, within the last few years, for sure. I will tell you. So my history with Blaxploitation films is very short because many years ago, when I heard that term, I didn't learn anything about it. I literally just said to myself, wait a minute, Blaxploitation, black exploitation. I don't like that.
Right.
I don't want to watch a movie about exploiting black people.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't. And I literally, I just never looked further into it than that, which is very, silly and stupid. But yeah, so probably within the last couple of years. And like a lot of people my age, I think my introduction to Pam Grier was through Jackie Brown and, her starring role in that Quentin Tarantino film, which Quentin Tarantino wrote for her because he was a huge fan of Coffy and Foxy Brown and Friday Foster. And I spent this week watching a lot of movies from this time period and every Pam Grier movie that I could in between. And afterwards, I was like, I totally get it. I totally get super young Quentin Tarantino watching all these movies and being like, Pam Grier is the coolest person on planet Earth. I'm going to write a movie for her where she's going to also be the coolest person on planet Earth. So I'm very curious, and I know that this is a very loaded question, but
I hate this
you watched
question.
this for the first time. I know you hate it, but
I hate it
I'm
so
just so curious.
much.
I'm just so curious. How did you feel about Coffy?
Coffee was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
It was really fun. It kept my attention the entire time. I wish Aunt watched it with me. Actually, I watched this one solo.
Okay.
And I went into it not knowing anything. I don't know this genre. I do not know Jack Hill. And I know Pam Grier and I know of Pam Grier. Pam Grier to me has always been there. But then I'm going through her filmography. I'm like, have I actually never seen anything with Pam Grier? And I just know her from being in a couple of TV episodes that I've watched. She's done so much voiceover work and she's done a lot of guest starring roles. But I'm like, that's not, probably the most shining moments for her.
Mm-hmm.
So this, I guess, is my really first movie
Mm-hmm.
of hers for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so this wasn't like a total, you hated this.
No.
Oh, okay.
I guess I could see where people would have a problem with it. There's a lot of nudity.
There is, yeah.
And so I can understand if that would make or break it for you if you feel it's overused or not necessary. To me, if we took the nudity out, it wouldn't affect the storytelling for me.
Yeah.
In the same way where we're leaving it in and it doesn't affect the storytelling for me.
I think there's one scene where the nudity is just like a Looney Tune level of absurd, which
Sure.
is the fight at the party.
Well, I feel okay, continue. I don't want to cut you off, but
And Coffee, at this point, Mystique, okay?
uh-huh.
Coffee / Mystique is just fighting every woman in this party.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's standing around like, wow, this is incredible. I can't believe I'm watching this. And at one point or another during this fight, every single woman's top is like ripped or falls over. And it happens so much that it gets to a point where like it's absurd. Like it's really, really, really absurd.
Oh, for sure. There's always just a boob out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's not necessary. That's what I'm saying. Like you get to a point where this is not, if we took this out, I would still be enjoying this movie and the story that's being told.
Yeah.
So yeah, but also like onto like it's ridiculous. All of the like fight scenes were ridiculous and silly to me because it just sounds like we're a little delayed. They look. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to insult the film, but we're
Well, I
dealing with
think,
it. We're dealing with a heavy subject matter.
yeah.
And I'm not talking about like when Coffee is doing her ass kicking, but just
Yeah.
some of the other scenes. I'm like, we're like barely hitting each other. It's misaligned. Yeah.
It's not a movie that's going to win an award for like fight choreography.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a good
I
time.
agree with
I'm here for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that comes to the budget
Yeah.
for these movies. The budget was real low.
Mhm.
And I gotta say, man, watching Coffee, I was like, I feel like Coffee is a great companion piece to The Godfather. This is like as as all of these dealings are being made, with the Corleone family and everyone else, and they're just kind of talking about things that are happening elsewhere. And for a lot of The Godfather, we're removed from the nitty gritty of crime and
Mhm.
who it affects on a personal street level. I feel like if Coffee had a much larger budget and perhaps some more talented workers behind the scenes, that this would be, I don't want to say as good of, I don't want to come off as
Yeah.
hyperbolic,
No, I hear what you're saying.
but I was like, oh, this is a really good story. And I feel like it took me watching it a few times, but it's like everything is set up. Everyone's motivations are set up properly. There's arcs and payoffs for everyone. There's different characters to give contrast to other characters, her two boyfriends. I don't know. I really was taken with the story, but I agree with you. Some of the fighting is really cheap. It's
Yeah,
really
but
cheap.
it doesn't take me out of it. Like I'm
Yeah.
still very much into it. I'm hooked. I like these characters
Yeah.
and I'm believing everything they're doing in the way where I'm committed to this world for
Yeah. Like
this
there's some
time.
things like Pam Grier's Jamaican accent.
Sure.
Which just kind of sounds like a fancy person, but then she says "man" after
Right.
like every sentence.
Was that okay? I don't know how much we know about this accent, right?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
this a note or was it like King George does not care what kind of accent you get. Like, this is a man who's interested in how hot you are and is
Right.
can and all of these men really, like I told Seth before we started recording, fold like a cheap suit. They see this beautiful woman. I mean, I get it. I would too. Like hot, right? So she's easily can take advantage and manipulate her way to get her through her mission. So really, she could have not even had the accent.
I don't understand why Mystique had to be Jamaican.
Well, what other I don't know, right? Because you had
I'm
to get in
Mystique
because she had to be
from
exotic.
well, I'm from Chicago. I'm from New York. I'm
That's
from
not exotic,
Florida.
though. That's she was given the note to be exotic,
Right, because she's trying to get close to the mob guy.
Vitroni. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I didn't consider that. But it's just like when you tell a lie, the lie has to be like small enough to fit inside of all of the truth around it.
Yeah.
And it just seems like her lie is so bad and big. Like I don't know. All I could think was like she's very lucky that King George has clearly never met someone from Jamaica.
If you were Pam Grier
Yeah.
showing up as Mystique, okay, would you care what her accent was?
Wait, so I'm King George?
Or right, or like right, you're King George in any male presence, and she shows up, she's interested in you, she's
I
laying out
mean,
like, I am the good in my game, but this is what I do. I think you're probably just gonna be like, "Okay, I don't care where you're from, come with me, I need to have you."
I'm a criminal who needs to have like bodyguards. Yeah, because now I'm like, you're a cop. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not thinking that you're a nurse who's on a revenge path.
But, like,
I'm
the
like,
mindset of those men are not thinking she's someone that she's not.
yeah,
Someone in a different role, moonlighting as Mystique. Is that the right term? I
I
guess.
guess. I don't know. I don't know.
They're
Anyway,
stu-nods, they're stupid.
yeah, there's just, yeah,
They're so dumb.
there's a lot of aspects to the movie that I think if you're not into the story and you're not into the feel of it,
Yeah,
that, yeah, there's going to be a lot of things that are kind of stumbling blocks along the way to and I think again most of it has to do with the budget.
yeah.
Okay, I have so much to say about this like time period that this movie is in. Michelle and I are not movie experts. We are not like movie historians or anything like that. All right. We're movie friends. Okay. But we do try to have something to say about the movies that we're covering. And disclaimer and alert here for everybody Michelle and I, we are not black people. And so we did not grow up in this culture. And for me, I'm like, all right, I picked this movie. I think I kind of need to like figure out how to talk about this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna give you my whole pitch right now. Are you ready?
Mhm.
Buckle up, friends. If you're driving, now's the time to not pay attention. Okay, just let all this wash over you. But I wanted to learn about like this genre, Blaxploitation, right? Which, by the way, is a word that some people still find to be offensive. Some people don't. Some people do. You know, it was created by a man who found this genre of film to be very offensive. And depending on who you talk to, these movies are total trash and harmful to the black community at large, or these movies are fun and a good time. And I'm not really gonna stand here and say one way or the other because I'm just not part of that community. Okay, 1973, right? This is in the middle of the blaxploitation movement. Generally, it's understood that this begins about 1970. There's two movies that are cited when talking about the beginning of blaxploitation, which is Cotton Comes to Harlem, written and directed by Ossie Davis, otherwise known as the mayor from Do the Right Thing,
Mm.
who we love.
Love. Yes.
And then Sweetback's Badass Song, which is the title of the movie because it's got a lot of A's in it.
I'm listening. I'm very intently listening. I feel like I'm a student in class.
Okay.
Tonight.
So this Sweetback was made by Melvin Van Peebles. He makes it completely himself, and it's more of an experimental art film. So Con Comes to Harlem, pretty straightforward narrative, comedy, crime movie. Sweetback, less accessible of a movie, I suppose I should say. But both of these movies make a bunch of money. And so now film studios around America are like, oh my God, we're going to start making movies with Black leads and Black actors telling stories, that we think are Black stories. And so, like I said, Blaxploitation comes about as a negative term. And so I wanted to kind of understand exploitation films to begin with. And I got to tell you, this is like such a broad expression, an exploitation film. If you go to the Wikipedia page on this, it starts out, makes perfect sense. It's like some subgenres are blaxploitation or giallo films, and then it goes down to like rubber monster suit movies, Mexican exploitation, and eventually I was like, what movie isn't an exploitation movie?
Right.
So basically, if you're a drama or just a straight comedy, you're not, but everything else kind of is. But exploitation films started as a way of making money and getting around the Hays Code. And we've talked about the Hays Code before on the show. The Hays Code is this set of standards. At the time, it was the MPA, eventually become the MPAA. And they lay out, hey, all of us movie studios, these are the standards that we are going to create movies by. And I read them for the first time today. I had never read them. I'd looked into them before, but I read the full thing today. And it's so weird and like really kind of shocking. I sent you a little snippet of it.
Mm-hmm.
I would encourage everyone, it's not incredibly long, but take a look sometime and go read. And so these standards were what governed how people made movies for decades and decades. So an exploitation film would say, okay, we're not allowed to show immoral behavior in movies. So we're going to make a movie that's all about immoral behavior. But we're going to basically do it as like a road show. We're going to rent out theaters. We're going to pass out pamphlets. And we're going to get people to come and watch these under the guise of it being educational. This isn't entertainment. This is educational. So, for example, in 1945, there's an exploitation film called Mom and Dad, which featured a real live human birth in the movie. It's about an unwanted teen pregnancy, and this movie ended up becoming the third highest grossing film of the entire 1940s.
Yeah.
Not just the year that it came out, the entire decade. At one point, they did a poll, and it was like 1 in 10 people had seen this movie. So massive, major hit, major market. So they put out movies about drug use. They put out movies about pregnancies, about abortion. They put out movies about infidelity. One of the things outlined in the Hays Code was sexual hygiene could not be depicted in films made for entertainment. So you had exploitation movies about that, right? So they're exploiting taboo subjects, and people are going to see these movies because they're not able to see this stuff anywhere else. There's no TV, there's no internet.
Right.
So, if you want to go see a movie where like a dude has syphilis, you got to go see one of these exploitation movies. And people would do it because, again, it's being presented under the guise of like education. You're not like, oh, I'm a creepy weirdo and I want to go see this stuff. You're like, well, I need to know about the dangers of, X, Y, and Z. So the films would travel the country, and it made me think of Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yep.
where, Criswell comes on and he gives this, attention everybody, this is information that we're sharing with you for the first time, and it's very important. Anyway, so again, all of this is because the Hays Code didn't allow like anything. One of the things in the code specifically was depicting interracial relationships, love, or sexual attraction. In about 1956, the Hays Code takes that part out. So in 1957, there's a film called Island in the Sun. This is the first Hollywood movie with an interracial kiss between Dorothy Dandridge and a white actor, John Justin. So 1957, right? Pretty much as soon as they could, they did it.
Mm.
And the KKK protested screenings throughout the South. And like as far north as like, the Carolinas, right? So 1957, that's like when my parents were born.
Yeah.
This isn't like hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
Right.
This is far less than 100 years ago at the time of this recording, right? And this is just an interracial kiss. And in Island in the Sun, there was supposed to be another interracial kiss, and they cut it because they were like, too much. 1967, 10 years later, guess who's coming to dinner? This is Sidney Poitier, and it's the first Hollywood on-screen kiss between a black man and a white woman. This is also the year of Loving v. Virginia, where the Supreme Court rules that race-based marriage laws are unconstitutional. So it's like, okay, we're well into the civil rights movement, and a lot of people are waking up to the idea that, people of a different skin color than them are human beings, and that, as such, they're capable of relationships with other human beings, right? Okay. So in 1968, the Hays Code is officially abandoned in favor of a new guiding force, which we still use today, which is the age restriction system. This is important because getting rid of the Hays Code completely, they specifically said no marriage or sexual relationships between people of different races. So 1956, they get rid of that rule. 1957, we start to get depictions of interracial relationships on screen. 1968, they get rid of the whole thing. 1970, Blaxploitation begins, right? And it is like just full force, everything that the Hays Code tried to stop people from telling stories about, One of the other things that the Hays Code was really, really strong about was, I'll read it here. The very first principle in the Hays Code says, no picture shall be produced which will lower the moral standards of those who see it. Hence, the sympathy of the audience shall never be thrown to the side of crime, wrongdoing, evil, or sin. In Coffy, we have a black woman who is justified in killing cops. And we have to understand in 2025 how insane of an idea that was. I know that I just talked for a very, very long time, but I think that Coffy is like a fun time, but I also think that when we watch things from a long time ago, it's like, well, this didn't age well. This really bothered me, or this was inappropriate. But like, you got to understand, filmmakers, just like in 56 to 57, as soon as they were like, we're allowed to do what we want, they started doing what they wanted. They started telling stories about people on the wrong side of the law. In the 30s and 40s, you could tell a story about a criminal, but they had to be brought to justice by the end. They couldn't get away with it. It had to be shown that like that was bad, right? So yes, Coffy has a lot of things that haven't aged well, but we really have to like stop and consider when we think about the 70s in American cinema, people are like, oh, it just feels so like gritty and like grimy and like real and like depressing kind of. Yeah, that's because filmmakers for generations weren't really allowed to express that. Anyway, that's my whole spiel for why this, I don't want to say is correct, because again, the flip side of that is you have a lot of people who were working in the civil rights movement to
Mm-hmm.
express to their white neighbors, look, we are not criminals. We don't hate you. We don't want violence. We want to be accepted as the equals that we already are, our inherent human value, right?
Right.
And then you have white filmmakers putting out a movie where black people are drug dealers and they're pimps and they're killing cops and they're addicted to drugs and all of this stuff. And so at the time, it's, I don't know, it's like I can see it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm how does Jack Hill come into this?
So Jack Hill, he had been like a music producer when he was younger.
Okay.
And he was working with Roger Corman. And Roger Corman is like one of the Hollywood legends. You know, Corman made so many movies. He would make movies for dirt cheap. I can't remember if it's him that it was like almost none of his movies like lost money because they just were made for so cheap. But he gave opportunity to a lot of people who in the next generation after him and even concurrent with him would make important Hollywood movies, you know. And so Jack Hill is kind of under Roger Corman, and they find Pam Grier. And Pam Grier was not Pam Grier was like working a bunch of jobs. She wanted to finish college, but she also had an interest in acting.
Mm-hmm.
And they took her on. I think Jack Hill told her to buy the Stanislavski book, An Actor Prepares, and she read it and she was like, yeah, like I want to do this. But before she's in Coffy and Foxy Brown, she is in women in prison movies, which is like a whole other genre of exploitation movies. As you can imagine, lots of, you know, nudity and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. She's also in a few movies that are in the Philippines because the Philippines had way less restrictions and cheap labor, and you could make movies cheaply there. And so I watched one of her movies, Black Mama, White Mama, this week. And it's weird because they never say like, hey, we're in the Philippines, but clearly they're in the Philippines movie. But she had this presence that you can see in this movie. And so she goes on to star in several movies. And this is like not unheard of, especially like around the world. But for America, it's like, here's this action star who's also a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And even for Blaxploitation films, it's not like there were tons and tons of ones where the woman was the lead, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, police were not allowed to be made fun of. Clergy were not allowed to be made fun of, you know, and obviously like people skated those lines, you
Oh yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, they're really showing like when you read the Hays Code and then you think of Coffy, it's almost like a checklist. You know,
Mm.
like kids were not supposed to be depicted as part of the drug trade. That was something that was
Mm.
specifically outlined.
Wow.
And that's something that Coffy touches on. You know, cops and the government were not supposed to be depicted as corrupt and, you know, anything less than to be respected. And yeah, it's wild. It's very wild. So you sit down to watch this movie. You don't know a thing about it, and we start off. Pam Grier is pretending to be Coffy, I should say. Coffy is pretending to be strung out in the back seat. We get to Sugarman's house, and she blows his head off with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking?
My first note is shot in the head. Nice clap emoji. I'm not even kidding you. I could send you a screenshot. It's my first note. So obviously I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think it's a great start to the movie.
It's setting us up. It sets the tone.
And what struck me was like she gets her revenge immediately.
Yeah.
Like these are the local dealers who got her sister hooked. And I think that's something important to remember when we're thinking about the events of the movie is this is a revenge movie. This is an 11-year-old child. And so it's like she's going to all these great lengths and doing all this crazy stuff. And it's like, Coffy, like, don't you have to go back to work?
Yeah, but she's enraged.
Right. But she has, I think, pretty good character motivation to explain like why she's doing what she's doing. Okay. I don't really know where to go from here.
Like I said, like my first note, shot in the head, nice. And then my next note is, she's a nurse! Exclamation point. Another clap emoji. And so what I like about her is she's badass, as we see, shooting someone in the head. Cut to, we have to go to our job now, which is like a very important, established profession.
Yep.
But she mentally is dealing with the repercussions of that internally. It's not like she is just made out to murder people. She's like, oh my God, I just did this. And now I have to live with it. And we see how she deals with that because she even questions her friend Carter, who is a cop. But what's interesting is like he is presented as a good cop.
Yes.
And he's kind of the moral center, I would say, the moral character of the film. Not that she isn't, but that's how he's portrayed. And at one point she questions him like, would you ever do something crazy, you know, if someone took advantage of your family? And is that justified? Like that conversation in their car was like a really important conversation for them to have.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, we're talking about Pam Grier. I just loved her performance in this.
Yeah, I think, you know, I made a joke about her Jamaican accent earlier, but I just think that she's got such great movie star presence.
Yes.
And if you like her in this, you know, some of her other movies, maybe they're not as good or maybe they're a little different, but she is the same. Like she is the same. She's so much fun. I think my favorite one that I watched was Friday Foster. So I would recommend that. In that one, she's like a photojournalist. So it's less like, oh, I'm going to go out and kill people as it is. She's caught in a crazy situation and now she's got to kind of like figure her way out of it. So she's coming at it from a different headspace, but she's still Pam Grier and she's still awesome and just so cool.
So cool and so effortless. And the thing that like I was fine with and didn't question, but I'm just bringing it up here because we're talking about it in a critical way, if you will. She's a nurse, right? We never see her practicing target practice. Like she knows how to use weapons. She knows how to kick ass. She's so smart in how to manipulate and connive. And I'm like, I'm here for I don't know how you know how to do all this. Are you practicing? Is this something natural? She's just very intuitive. She's a superhero in a way.
Yeah, I was just going to say what I love about this movie and how it starts right off the bat. And again, kind of like gets rid of our bad guys immediately. We don't get a training montage.
No.
We don't get okay, now here's the deal. She just kind of goes for it. Like, this will sound like a joke, but she kind of just goes in naked. Like she goes in kind of, you know, she hides the gun in the lion, you know, when she puts razor blades in her hair. So I don't mean to say like she's just totally flying by the seat of her pants, like, but she's very resourceful. She's very smart. And that's kind of all she needs. Like, I think the biggest criticism of the movie is that her body and sexuality is overused, as some people would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for this character, she's using everything at her disposal to get in, get the mission done, and kind of move on. And she just keeps moving up and up and up and up and up, even though she doesn't realize that's what she's doing some of the times, all the way up to, a congressman or a would-be congressman.
Right. Right.
And that's why I kept thinking about The Godfather, because in The Godfather, especially, one and two paired together, it shows, Vito Corleone going from a guy who's doing small crimes around the neighborhood and helping people out to Michael Corleone working all the way up to, I mean, we'll throw 3 in there. The Vatican thing of it all, just going all the way up. And, Coffy manages to show that in a much shorter runtime.
Yeah. Without an ego, though. I just want to add that in. Versus Vito and Michael. Egos.
Right.
Coffy has no ego. Coffy's just like, I got to get rid of y'all because, because at the end, not to jump to the end, we just walk off into the sunset and we don't know what's going to happen to her or what the repercussions are going to be from all these people that she just took out.
Right. Right.
And I don't think she knows either.
Nope. I think it's a great ending.
It's a great ending. I love the ending. It's fantastic.
Like you mentioned, Coffy is not a cold-blooded killer. After she kills the first 2 guys, she's unable to perform her job, right? Which she's introduced at her job as get Coffy, because this person who's in here right now doesn't know what they're doing. So we can assume that Coffy is good at her job. And then one beat later, Coffy has lost her ability to do her job because she's wrestling with taking a life. Then later on, when she's having sex with Howard, her boyfriend, and they're having a good time, like they're both expressing that they're having a good time in that moment. She's having flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Then after everything, when she's at that final confrontation with Howard, which I find just so heartbreaking. Like, Pam Grier is so cool throughout the whole movie, and then when it's just her and him, she's like, I feel like I'm in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm still in that dream. Like, Coffy she's really taking on the mental and physical toll of everything that has happened to her. And I don't disagree with you that she's like a superhero, but she feels different from a lot of heroes that we see in movies.
Yeah.
Where this isn't a triumphant ending. It's a
No.
very melancholic, bittersweet, maybe just bitter. I don't know that there is any sweet.
Right. It goes back to the conversation that she has with Carter of Carter saying, like, even if you took a life of a bad person, I'm paraphrasing here, what good does it do?
Yeah.
I mean, where does it stop? Because this drug issue goes so far.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean,
He says it goes all the way to a farmer in Turkey or a farmer in Vietnam. You're going to kill all of them.
Right.
And Howard expresses the same kind of idea, which is like, if it wasn't me, it would be someone else. Like, you can't. But I don't think that the movie is saying, like, go kill your local drug dealer. I don't think it's that. But I do find it curious that it's the men who are part of the system who are the ones saying, oh, nothing will ever be different.
Mm-hmm.
And Carter, I do think Carter is the moral center of the movie because Coffy is an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Whether you agree with her or not, that's the category she falls into. Where Carter, he tells his partner, he's like, if you take that bribe, I'm going to do my best to lock you up too.
Right.
So, good on Carter.
Yeah.
The only one that could make Coffy laugh.
Yeah.
We're told. Okay, Howard. What do you think about him?
He's a turd. I hated him like right off the bat.
Okay, well, he sends a car to pick her up. and then brings her to a topless place.
I mean,
But apparently, like, everyone was just there. There's like old
everyone's there.
couples. Was this
Yeah.
a thing in the 70s? You could just go to a topless joint?
I mean, I like that the woman's dancing. She's got fire around her. It's a nice protection wall. That's good.
Yeah.
That didn't bother me too much. It was just I don't know. Anytime we're like introducing a politician, I'm like, I already know I'm not going to like you.
Right. You're not good.
You're not good.
Yeah. Again, American cinema in the 1970s. I don't know if there's ever a good politician depicted.
Right. Right.
Yeah, he sucks. It kept bothering me. His hair. There was just like a piece of his hair on the back of his neck that like kind of overlaid his suit, so like it was kind of a mullet, but just like the hint of a mullet. It really bothered. It really kept. I just wanted to like snip
Trim
it, like
it.
just trim. It's like, Howard, you have an okay look, but that just
Yeah.
just edge up a little anyway. And yeah, I think Howard and Carter are like good contrasts with each other because they're two men who both want her, but one of them, Carter, seemingly wants her for virtuous, pure reasons because he actually loves her and cares about her. And Howard is like, I don't care. She's just someone I have sex with. Go kill her.
She's disposable, but yet they've been together for at least a year because they've gone to Hawaii together. So
Is that the limit? That's the limit on going to Hawaii?
No, but I'm just saying, like, wow, this to me is more than someone like I understand he's just he's gross and he cares about his status and the business. When he tells the guys like, I don't care, like kill her. I just bang her, right? But you guys have been hanging out. It hasn't just been like a couple of months.
Right. Yeah, and I mean the night that it's decided that he's going to run for Congress, he's meeting with her.
Right. He has a car picking her up, and this is a thing that she's used to. She's used to the driver coming to pick her up.
Right. I do think, I don't know, he's got to have multiple ladies because
100% he does.
Yeah, when he goes to his cabin or whatever they call it, there's already a lady there, and he's like, "Oh, I thought you were dead," and it's like that was an hour ago.
Exactly. But so like, yes, but you've been with this person for a year and you went to Hawaii. So maybe she was like the main girl you bang in your rotation when Coffy's like working her night shift. But he sucks.
Right.
He sucks.
Yeah, he definitely sucks. And Carter's much better. She says to him like, "Oh, you don't want to do what I'm doing tomorrow," and he's like, "Yeah, I do." And they end up going to visit her sister, who's in the juvenile rehabilitation center, and Carter, as he surveys the room, like he gets a look on his face of like, yeah, this is bad. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with being on the take. And this, he gets to see, maybe more so than he sees even in his daily job. Like this is the effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that this is, Coffy is in this genre of exploitation movies, and everyone talks about, oh, there's a bunch of naked ladies and there's drugs and pimps and, violence and whatever. But I love that this part is included in this story. This is something that I always wanted to see from Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Breaking Bad is supposed to be this like big moral tale of corruption. But the fact of the matter is they made Walter White look like a cool guy.
No, they didn't.
And
I'm like the only person who will just
yeah.
Okay.
I think that they made him a scary guy, and they were like, hey, here's a bad guy. But Walter White never had to face the effects of what he put out into the world. And here in this scene, Coffy and Carter, this is it, like children. And if children are not the protected class, then there are no protected classes, you know?
Yeah.
So I like that before we get to, the silliness of King George and his outfits and the action and all of that stuff, we see what's at stake, and like it's the future, and it's your family, and it's innocence. I mean, Coffee says she had been sending money to her sister and brother to pay for her younger sister to have dancing lessons and piano lessons. And because the local pusher knew that she was being sent money, they started to put pressure on her to start using. That's horrible. That's, you know, predatory and evil. And I like that this movie, that's, in this exploitation drama genre, takes the time
Oh,
to
yeah.
to show us the weight of what's at stake.
To me, this is an anti-drug movie.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's really, in a way, it's like anti-drug and anti-violence while
Eh,
being violent and a
Yeah.
story about what drugs can do and where it can lead.
Yeah. And I think it's trying to also shine a light on the reality of power structures, and
Oh,
and
for
showing
sure.
you like,
Yeah.
hey, that congressman who's doing a
Mhm.
walk and talk about the horrors in your neighborhood, well, guess what? They're philandering and they're
Yep.
lying, and all they care about is green, is what he says. And then, hey, the mafia stereotype guy that you think is cool. Well, guess what? He's like a horrible sex creep.
Mhm.
And hey, this police officer, sells out his partner and is then a part of Coffee being, shot up with heroin and raped and murdered later on. It's a very cynical movie. And like I said, I don't think that every part of Coffee holds up all this time later. But I also think they had a chance to tell these
Oh, yeah.
stories for the first time, and they were gonna take it.
Mhm.
So you don't feel that this is glorifying anything being depicted?
Like, in what particular matter?
I read some pieces on why this time period was good for filmmaking and why this time period was very damaging. One of them was written by a man who would go on to become the head of HBO,
Mhm.
whose name I forget at the moment.
Mhm.
But he said, he's like, this, you can't depict these people as like cool, like King George, who's a pimp, someone who's making all of this money off of abusing women, right? You could say that he's shown to be like a cool guy.
I mean, I guess. I feel like because this is my only movie in this genre, and I
Hmm.
haven't done the work that you have done, don't think anything was, like, blown out in proportion. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? It was like I
Yeah. And
watched
I'm
the
just
movie
asking
and
you. Yeah.
I took it as it was.
Yeah.
Like, and we talked about parts we thought were silly or
Hmm.
ridiculous without us saying, like, that makes it bad or we didn't enjoy it. I mean, the introduction of King George, you're giving him his own theme song.
Oh my
George,
God.
George, George.
Yeah.
Do I think King George is cool? No. But I'm not laughing at him. I'm just like, look at this character. Yeah, does that make sense? Does that make sense of what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Look, like I said, I'm on the side that this is a good story about crime,
Yeah.
a la The Godfather. Like,
Mhm.
which is another movie that is misinterpreted and misunderstood, and people think Michael Corleone is a cool guy.
Well, okay. Cool guy. Like, I think of antiheroes, and we you mentioned Walter White in,
Mhm.
in today's pop culture, right? You have Tony Soprano.
Mm-hmm.
You have Don Draper.
Mm-hmm.
Two characters who I very much love.
Yeah.
But they are not good guys.
Yeah.
Don Draper at times is a cool guy. Walter White I did not like at all, and I know he's in the same category of a Don Draper and a Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
Complex characters, though, I would say.
Yeah. I think it depends on if I'm going to be honest with you. I think it depends on if you pay attention to what's happening in this movie. And you
Right.
clock all of the dialogue and what people are saying. I read a review. So each week, I pull reviews for this.
Yep.
I replied to my first ever half-star review on Letterboxd this week because the person was ripping this movie apart and they just didn't pay attention. They said, oh, one moment Coffy is being injected with heroin, and then the next moment she's just getting up and running.
She
And I'm
wasn't
like,
injected
yeah,
with heroin.
that's because she switched the heroin with sugar earlier in the movie. And when they put King George in the car, he had that sugar in a vial. Omar, played by Sid Haig, takes that and says, this is from King George. Then the cop tastes it and says it's so like they had a few complaints about the movie that they thought made the movie so stupid. And it's like, you just didn't pay attention. Like you did.
Right.
So anyway, I've never done that before, but I was like, I am mad. I'm mad that you think Coffy is dumb when you are the one who might be dumb, stranger on the internet.
Like, you can think a movie's dumb, but I don't know. I was going to say, like, understand what's happening. And there's been times when I'm not surely sure of what's the plot but
of course. I mean, some things are convoluted.
Sure, but this was not convoluted. I mean, this is very clear. This movie is set up for us as long as you're watching and listening. It's pretty simple. Just follow.
You proved that earlier in this episode. I started off by saying everything is set up. There's arcs, there's this, that. And then I made fun of the Jamaican accent and you corrected me. You said.
Well, that was my own opinion.
But you're correct. She knew that this guy, Vetroni, or whatever his name is.
Yes, Vetroni.
Wants exotic women. So that's why she did it. So I came in saying, hey, this is stupid. It's not, actually. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, the accent is bad. But
well, sure. But there's a reason why she did it.
It's all there. It's all there. So anyway, back to your point about the anti-heroes. I think it really just comes down to if you pay attention to what's happening in this movie or not. I can't imagine watching this and thinking that it's glorifying any of this stuff. Our two innocent characters, her sister and Carter, they're left paralyzed, brain dead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the doctor says maybe one day he'll be able to use the bathroom by himself. This is horrifying. Like, horrifying.
Right.
Coffy walks away with PTSD in a daze, almost being murdered by the man that she loves, and then just walks off into the sunset. This is heavy stuff. Okay, how did you feel about the razor blades in the hair?
Again, like, talk about being resourceful. And now it's like she was just preparing for what might have happened. Like, knowing she was going back into that party and she was going to spill the salad on Meg. Is her name Meg? King George's, main squeeze?
Spill is a...
Okay.
That's a dump.
Poor dump. So she knew, okay, I'm going to fight with this girl. We're going to get into it. She'll probably go for my hair.
Yeah.
So we're thinking ahead. But here, okay, going back to the silly of it, right? So when Meg's puts her, gets cut, she's like, ah! And then the next scene, it's like so red and dripping down her arms where you're like, it's fun. I'm not laughing at the fact that this woman cut her arms. It's just the visual.
Yeah.
Of that, the way the blood dripped and the jump cut of it was funny.
Right. Yeah, I think you really have to like. I'm gonna bring up another scene, which to me is like one of the most horrifying scenes in the movie. I think that you have to like do a little mental jump to be like, I know what they're going for.
Yeah.
To take it seriously.
Yeah.
So the scene where they kill King George.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And they put a noose around him. Omar says, I'm not going to say what he says because it's so upsetting. And then they drag him behind this car until he dies. Look, you could watch that scene and say, oh, look, it's a dummy. Look how dumb that looks.
Do you know I didn't even think that?
I agree.
Like at all. And like I didn't even, I think I turned away because I was so upset with that scene. That really upset me. And I think I actually didn't watch that in its entirety. So I didn't even notice the dummy. Obviously, I knew they weren't going to drag a human, but for in the movie.
Well, they do for a little bit. When he first falls down, they do drag him across the grass for a bit.
Yeah, this
and
really
it's like,
upset me. So
wow.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you're in it, I think that you can say, I know what they're going for, and the idea and the image is kind of horrifying enough. But if you're not in it, you're just like, look at how fake this dummy looks.
Like pick it
this
apart.
Is ridiculous. Yeah. But oh man, it's just so violent. And then they're intercutting with Omar just like laughing.
Yeah.
And just saying horrible stuff. And it's like, man, the intensity of that, it's horrible. I gotta bring up the highway scene. All of the stuff at the party is just to get Vitroni's attention. She thinks that that's like as high up as she's gonna go, right? Because now the mafia from Vegas is moving in on the drugs and the prostitution in LA. Vitroni's the dude, so she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna kill this guy, and that's the head, right? But Jake, the cowboy hat guy, recognized her at the party because she smashed a bottle or a vase into someone's head. And he's like, wait a minute. This happened to me recently. Someone who looks a lot like Mystique hit me in the head. And so the whole thing with Vitroni, it turns out, is a setup. Coffy is put into isolation and they try to determine, okay, who put this hit out on me? Whatever. They decide they're going to kill Coffy, and she escapes and then is running down the highway, cars barreling at her. I mean, can you imagine being Pam Grier on that highway and cars racing towards you and then just braking 20 feet in front of you?
No.
So I watched an interview with her and she said she had broken her ankle. And so her cast was painted to look like one of her boots.
Oh my God.
And they show it, and it's kind of hard to tell.
Like now that you know it, you can see it.
But now that you know it, you can see it, and it's like, oh my God. Like, so she's like, yeah, I was just running with a cast down this highway, limping in total pain.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Wow.
So good for her. Then she's chased down by Mac, which is Carter's former partner, who kills him essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Mac kind of goes out. It's kind of like his car flips and then he's like, this thing's gonna burn up. Oh no, it's burning up.
Help.
And it's like, is that what would happen? Like, you just tip a cop car over and it explodes. But you know what, movie, fine,
we're accepting it. We accept.
Everyone's getting it. This is, like I said, this is a revenge story, man.
Yes.
Everyone who does Coffy Run, by the end, she kills. So she grabs the shotgun. Then she steals a car, which I think is just such a funny, because like, she's going to steal it. But then she like drives back to where she was picked up by the guy and like runs over, grabs the shotgun, gets back in the car.
I love that so much. That was one of my favorite scenes. I was like, yes.
Like Jack Hill was really just like, all right, we got to establish where she gets this shotgun from. She'll come back and pick it up.
Yeah.
And it's like almost like a screenplay faux pas, but like I just love it. Like I
No,
don't know.
I love it. Love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. God, it's so funny. So she just okay. Wait, we didn't talk about one sunglass guy.
Oliva?
What did you think about one sunglass guy?
Well, when we first meet him in the tiki bar
Yeah,
place, and I mean, he's so easy to clock. You don't forget a face like that.
right.
And you have one of the waitresses, she's going around asking, "Do you want your photo taken?" And then he traps her and he's like, "Give me the film. I'll chop your boob off if you don't." And I'm like,
Crazy.
and I'm waiting for this guy to come back. So
Yeah.
when he finally comes back, I was like, okay. Just what a character. This, wearing
He's
a
like the
eye patch.
mole, the secret agent. No one
Yeah.
takes a photo of me. I'm
Right.
lurking behind the scenes to make all the
Right.
connections.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, she just runs into him.
Yeah.
Runs into him, shoots Ramos, and then chases Vitroni out to the pool. I loved this interaction. Like, because he goes under the water, and I'm like, come on, man. And then she says, like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going to go? You got to come up for air eventually. So she kills him and then heads out for Howard. And yeah, this is it's a great scene. I hate what Howard says here, but I think it's kind of good motivation for a bad guy. He's like, there will always be rackets and there will always be people with bad lives that want to feel good. So so what if I'm part of that?
Yeah. Let me get a piece of it.
Mm-hmm. And then, he's still trying to manipulate her, and he's like, I want all the money and power so that I can help Black people. I can help our community. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, and that. And it's like she wants to listen and she wants to believe him. And then you hear this woman upstairs, and it's a white woman. And I think that the movie is saying something with that. And you see that just everything he says is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't care about her. He doesn't care about his community. And she shoots him in the groin with a shotgun and then walks up into the sunset.
I'm here for it. Like
Are you standing up and clapping?
I'm like, that was good. That was good.
We start with a drug dealer getting his head blown off. And we end with a congressman getting something else blown off.
Getting his head blown off.
Right. Yes. The other end of the snake.
That's right.
And I got to tell you, it's good writing.
It is. It's good. It's good.
Quickly, I just want to mention the theme songs. The Coffy theme song is incredible.
Yep.
I've been listening to the soundtrack like all week.
Yeah.
King George's song is funny.
It's like George.
Yeah,
George.
it's just like George.
King George.
And yeah, I wish that more movies weren't ashamed to be like, and here's the theme song for this character.
Right? Like your intro song, your walk-up song. I did quickly want to mention a character I wish we saw more of.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the lady pimp.
I feel bad for what's her name? The former patient.
Is it Priscilla?
Yeah.
I do too. Yeah. But Coffy is like, you know what? I got my information. I'm not going to kill the lady pimp. It's almost like I respect, even though you're part of it, I have men to kill. Or maybe that's just how I read it, right?
Well, it's the only, I heard someone say it's the only fight in the movie that Coffy runs away from.
Yeah.
Everyone else, she's like, fine, I'm going to kill you. Or I'm going to dump a salad bowl on your head and then fight every one of your friends.
Right.
But I think, is it Harriet?
I think so. I think it's Harriet.
Yeah. Harriet shows up and Coffy's like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
My work here is done. All right, so this movie was made for $500,000. Goes on to make over $2 million at the box office. Big hit. Movie currently has an 84 on Rotten Tomatoes, 3.6 on Letterboxd, 60 on Metacritic. This is not in the Criterion Collection, nor is it in the National Registry. Ebert, he reviewed this at the time. That's how long.
Wow.
That's how long Ebert was in the game, man. He gave it 2 out of 4, but he spoke favorably of it. And I pulled this quote, and I was like, I need this like on a shirt or something. He says, the nice thing about Coffy is that it neatly reverses the formula, because he's talking about other blaxploitation movies where women would just be, the woman in the bed at the beginning of the movie for the hero, and then the woman in the bed at the end of the movie for the hero. It neatly reverses this formula and gives us Pam Grier as the hero. She is a young actress of beautiful face and astonishing form, who has previously been seen in the kinds of movies frequented only by demented creeps and movie critics.
That's funny.
And I was like I felt like an arrow in my heart. And I was like, oh no. I do watch movies that are really bad under the guise of like, well, I mean, I have to watch the movie about the killer toilet, Anyway, and they shot this in like about a month, which is very, yeah. All right, let's get into our happies and crappies.
It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies.
My happy? This might come as a shock. It's Pam Grier's Jamaican accent. That's right, folks. I love it that much. My crappy is I understand people's gripe about the movie with the nudity. And I think that you said it best at the beginning. At least half of the nudity in this movie you could remove and nothing would change. Like even just when that guy has the knife to the woman in the room and he's like, give me that camera. Her chest doesn't need to be out.
Right. The boob does not have to come out to say hi.
Right. And it's literally out and he's like, I'm going to cut it off. Like just put the knife to the chest and say, I'm going to cut it off. We know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
My happy is I love the shot through the fish tank.
Oh, yeah. I didn't clock that until like my third time watching it. And I was like,
really? That was like,
ooh.
I wrote that down as soon as I saw it. I said, that's my happy for the film. My crappy, even though I understand it was part of the storytelling, was the killing of King George. The way it was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have some friends online what they thought. Patrick Vicious at Alleyway Crew.
Hello.
He simply says, coffee rules.
Very nice.
Vince Stone's girl, sparkle emoji, at Cass Smiley says, first female action hero, and yes, the GOAT to me, personally.
Nice. Yes.
Andrew.corns. Hey, Andrew.
Hi, friend.
Says, love Pam Grier, all in caps. Icon, queen. Happy B-Day, Seth.
Aww.
All right, so there's some people that we do know. Now we go to a segment of the show where we hear from people that we don't know. It's called Half Star, 3-Star, 5-Star. These are reviews from letterboxd.com, which is a website and an app where you can log, rate, and review films. We start with a half-star review, which is the lowest rating that you can give a film. We go all the way up to a 5-star review, which is the highest rating that you can give a film. And on this show, even though I'm not good at them, I read the half-star reviews in an accent or an impersonation. I will not do a Jamaican accent. Michelle asked me many times off air.
You all know I
That-
didn't.
That's not true.
We know that's a bold-faced lie.
No, I was the one. I was like, I'm going to do a Jamaican accent.
No.
But since I'm not doing that, do you have any requests?
I don't. So let's go over to our Wheel of Voices.
Wheel of Voices!
Okay, let's spin the wheel. Hey, Miss Peggy.
Wow.
Can you read us our half-star review?
This is a perfect person.
A perfect pig.
A perfect pig to read this one. All right, here's a half-star review for Coffy, read by Miss Piggy.
Note, I was unable to continue spectating this cinematic disaster and refrained from watching it halfway through. If Jack Hill had sought to apply as much thought and effort in showcasing the lead character's chest towards any other avenue of the film, Coffy would be a masterful work of blaxploitation art, opposed to a disastrous, horrendous, repulsively low-quality film that offers nothing to viewers aside from its full embrace of the sexy, powerful black female character archetype.
Wow. Thank you, Miss Peggy. Very passionate.
Wow, Miss Piggy, you had to stop watching halfway through?
Yeah.
Look, folks, don't write a review if you only watch half of the movie. I'm just going to tell you. Knock it off.
Right.
3-star review says, not too many surprises here if you're familiar with the genre. There's rampant action, boobies, and a funky soundtrack. Though Coffy's exploration of systemic corruption, operating on class and racial lines, does elevate this somewhat. I just want to point out real quick, I sent Michelle so many 3-star reviews. I had a really good time reading the 3-star reviews for this movie, and I would recommend everyone else do the same. 5-star review says, hard not to love Pam Grier murdering her way through the drug underground, up the chain to the legit society as revenge for her little sister getting hooked on heroin, ending with her bruised and disillusioned, explicitly stating she's trapped in a dream as her dirty and cheating politician boyfriend tries to gaslight her into not killing him. Then she shotguns him in the crotch and walks off into the sunset. 5 stars.
Great review.
No notes. All right, on this show, we rate things as a movie, a schmovie, or a film. We rate them 1 through 5 stars and give our final thoughts and recommendations. Michelle, you want to go first since Sean won a pickle for you?
Sure.
All right, so for Coffy, I wrote that you were going to rate this a 3-star movie.
You're right.
Oh, very good.
Yes, to me, this is like a shining 3-star movie.
Okay.
Big gold stars. 3 of them. I am recommending this one. Especially if you're like me, or you're new to this genre, and if you haven't seen this one and you are a fan of Pam Grier, I can only imagine going backwards and seeing this, you'd become even more of a bigger fan of hers.
Nice.
Yeah. For you, which now, I wrote down 3.5 movie.
Ooh, so close. When I first watched this, I rated it 3 stars. After living in it, I gotta tell you, it's a 4-star movie.
Wow.
I was really taken aback by how I'm gonna say airtight, and people are gonna be like, Seth cannot be trusted, but genuinely, like, just a really good script.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It all makes sense. They do everything that they're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Yes, the production value is low, but hey, we love low production value. This is close to a movie. I feel like if the subject matter like wasn't as serious as it is,
absolutely,
and they didn't
Seth.
fulfill the seriousness of it. Like if this was more just like wham, bam, I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to shoot you in the crotch. I'm going to do the like.
We are on the same wavelength when it comes to the movie schmovie film rating because I had the same thought.
Yep. But I think that it manages to land on its feet. And
Mm-hmm.
Okay, does this pass the Seth-Shell test? The Seth-Shell test is our spin on the Bechdel test. We require that a movie contains something tangible that is impressive, whether choreography, production design, or practical effect, and it must have a runtime that is justified by its content. This is yes for me. We mentioned that some of the production design is cheap, but this was a cheaply made movie that was made in a month. And if for nothing else, Pam Grier's boot cast, that gets it. And I think the runtime's great.
Yeah, this is also a yes for me. Like, no question about it.
Hey, if you have no question about this show, we'd love it if you give us a rating and a review wherever you're listening. And if you do have questions about this show, we'd love it if you'd send us an email. See that? It works for both possible outcomes. You can also support the show, patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. $5 a month gets you access to all of our additional episodes, our patron-only Discord. You get to vote on upcoming movies every month and a quarterly theme. You get ad-free episodes. So remember when you were listening to this episode and you were like, I don't like an ad? Well, guess what? We don't either. And quite frankly, if enough people sign up, we're going to probably stop doing them. So
absolutely.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, Michelle, next week is your pick. What are we doing?
Oh, wow. Well, talk about getting into a world and trying to understand all of it.
How is it like we picked 3 movies in a row that was like intense
Well, you didn't think Coffy was going to be
I did not. No.
So intense like The Wizard of Oz, but this is my pick. Next week we're going to be discussing Cleopatra from 1963, directed by Joseph Mankiewicz. 251 minutes. Now, if you're all laughing because it's like Michelle doesn't like long movies, Michelle, why are we doing this movie? Well, you just have to come back and find out.
There you go.
Seth, have you seen this?
I'm excited because I've never seen this.
Same.
And I got to tell you, I don't know that I've seen a Joseph Mankiewicz joint.
Well, that makes 2 of us. So it's next week is going to be a lot of firsts.
I'm excited. This is the longest movie we've ever done.
It might
even
be
after doing a month of Indian movies, which are notoriously long.
Yeah.
This is it.
I think it might be the longest movie I've ever watched. I don't know. How long is Lawrence of Arabia and how long is Ben-Hur? I don't
think
remember.
They're comparable.
Yeah. But
this is very exciting news for me as a movie guy because this means that we are slowly inching our way towards doing Satan Tango, which is a 7-hour movie.
Oh my God. You know, if that's what it calls for, you know what? If we did a whole month and just covered that, that would be good.
If we did Satan Tango, I would come down to Long Island. We would have like breaks. We'd take walks. We get food. Spend it just the whole day.
Oh, we would binge it in one day?
Of course. You gotta watch it in one sitting.
Why?
Well, I mean, take a walk break, but.
Okay. Anyway, we don't need to talk about the logistics of how we'll do a future episode, but yeah, come back next week. Cleopatra.
Very excited.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Seth. Thank you for picking this movie because this was a delight. This was good. I mean, it's heavy, but I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah. I'm glad you felt that way because, like I said at the beginning, I was like, I can see this going one of either way. And hey, thank you very much for listening. And remember, folks, I never mix business with pleasure, except in a ratio of 3 to 1. Till next time, when we're talking about Cleopatra from 1963, thank you for listening. Have a good one.
Movie Friends is produced by Seth Vargas and Michelle Rubenstein. Theme music by Jean Marie Vargas. Visit us at our website, moviefriendspodcast.com, and please subscribe and rate our show wherever you are listening. You can support Movie Friends at patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Thanks for listening.